Hello everyone. Welcome back to Super English Talks. This is Sarah, and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. I know that learning English can sometimes feel hard, but don't worry, we are going to talk slowly, clearly, and easily, step by step. This is your time to relax, listen carefully, and enjoy learning with me. Today, I want to share a full guideline on how to learn English, how to practice listening, and how to make English a natural part of your life. So just sit comfortably, maybe have a cup of tea, and let's begin our easy English lesson together. When you start learning English, the most important thing is your mindset. You need to believe that you can learn. Sometimes we think, oh, English is too difficult, or my pronunciation is bad, or I don't understand native speakers. But these thoughts only make us stop trying. So I want you to start with a positive and gentle mind. Tell yourself, I can do it, I can improve slowly, and every small step is progress. Learning a language is not a race. It is a journey. You don't need to run fast. You just need to keep moving. Every day, just a little practice, and you will see how much better you get. Now let's talk about listening practice, because listening is one of the most important skills in English. When you listen to English, your brain starts to learn the rhythm, the sound, and the pattern of the language. You can hear how people connect words, how they stress some syllables, and how natural English really sounds. At first, you might not understand everything, and that's completely okay. Don't try to understand every single word. Instead, try to understand the main idea. When you listen, ask yourself, what is this person talking about? What is the main topic? What emotion do I feel from their voice? This is real listening. You don't need to stop every second to translate. Try to relax and let the sound go through your ears and into your brain. Over time, your brain will start to understand more and more. That is how listening practice really works. If you are a B2 learner, that means your English is already quite good. You can understand many conversations, you can read books, you can write emails, and you can express your thoughts. But sometimes you still feel stuck. Maybe you can't find the right words fast enough. Or you understand people in movies but not in real life, or you feel shy when speaking. That's very normal. To move from B2 to a higher level, you need more natural listening and speaking practice. For example, you can listen to podcasts, YouTube channels like this one, or English songs. But the key is, you must listen actively. Active listening means you don't just play the audio in the background. You pay attention, you try to repeat what you hear, and you try to catch the rhythm and pronunciation. Sometimes you can even write down what you hear, a little bit like dictation. This helps your ears and your eyes work together. When you listen to English, choose topics that you enjoy. If you love cooking, listen to English cooking videos. If you love travel, listen to travel vlogs. If you like stories, listen to English storytelling channels. When you enjoy what you are listening to, your brain learns faster because it feels happy and interested. Also, it's important to listen to different accents. English is spoken by people all over the world, not only in America or the UK. Try to listen to speakers from different countries. This will help you understand real-world English. You can start with slow English channels, like this one, and then slowly move to faster speech. Now, let's talk about how to learn English in general. There are 4 big skills in English: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You need to practice all 4. But not all at once. You can focus on one skill each day. For example, on Monday you can listen to something in English. On Tuesday, you can practice speaking, even if it's just to yourself in front of a mirror. On Wednesday, you can read an easy article or a story. On Thursday, you can write something small in English, like a short diary about your day. Then, on Friday, you can mix everything together. When you learn like this, your brain gets stronger in all areas of English. Speaking is another skill that many people are afraid of. They think, oh, I can't speak English well. I make too many mistakes. I don't sound good. But Sarah wants to tell you something important. Mistakes are your best teachers. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. So don't be afraid. Speak slowly, clearly, and confidently. If you don't have a speaking partner, talk to yourself. Describe what you are doing in English. For example, you can say, I am making coffee now. I am washing the dishes. I am going to work. This small daily habit helps your brain think in English. Another great way to learn is to shadow native speakers. Shadowing means you listen to a short sentence and then repeat it exactly the same way. You try to copy the pronunciation, the rhythm, and the emotion. It's like you are echoing the speaker. This is one of the most effective ways to improve both listening and speaking. You can shadow TV shows, YouTube videos, or even audio lessons like this one. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Just try again and again, and slowly you will sound more natural. Let's also talk about reading. Reading helps you learn new words and understand how sentences are built. You don't need to read difficult books. Start with short stories or children's books in English. They use simple language, but they are full of useful words. When you read, don't stop for every word you don't know. Try to guess from the context first. Later, you can check new words in a dictionary. If you read a little every day, your vocabulary will grow faster than you imagine. Writing is the last skill we will talk about today. Writing helps you organize your thoughts and make your grammar stronger. You can start by writing a short diary every day in English. Just a few sentences are enough. Write about how your day was, what you learned, or what made you happy. If you have a friend who is also learning English, you can exchange short messages or emails in English. This will make your writing practice more fun. Now, I want to talk about motivation because it's very important. Sometimes you feel tired or bored. Sometimes you feel like you are not improving. But please don't give up. Every learner feels that way. When you start to learn a new language, your progress is fast in the beginning, but later it feels slow. That's normal. It doesn't mean you are stuck. It means you are moving to a higher level where learning becomes deeper. The best way to stay motivated is to enjoy the process. Find small victories. Maybe you understood a movie without subtitles today. Maybe you talked to someone in English for the first time. Celebrate those moments. They are signs of your success. You can also make your learning more fun by mixing different activities. Watch a movie one day, listen to music another day, read a short story next time. When learning is fun, you don't feel like it's hard work. You can even talk to your phone in English or use apps that help you practice listening and pronunciation. But remember, real progress comes from daily practice, not from one big study day. Even 15 minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a week. Let's take a deep breath now. Learning English is a long journey, but you are not alone. We are here together, and every time you listen to this channel, you are improving your English. Sarah believes in you. I know that you can do it. Just keep listening, keep speaking, keep reading, and keep writing. Don't compare yourself to other people. Everyone learns in their own time. Focus on your own progress and enjoy the journey. So, as a full guideline for learning English, here's the most important message I want you to remember. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and be consistent. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be better than yesterday. Every small effort adds up. One day, you will look back and realize how much you have grown. I know that you are trying your best to learn English, and I want to tell you something before we start. You are doing great. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What matters is that you are here, listening, learning, and improving every single day. Learning English is a wonderful journey, and I will be with you every step of the way. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and just enjoy this moment. Today we are going to talk about how to learn English in a smart, simple, and happy way. This is your full guideline, made easy and friendly, for everyone who wants to speak, listen, and understand English better. When we begin any new skill, it always feels a little scary. Maybe you feel shy to speak, or maybe you think your accent is not good, or you forget words when you try to talk. That is completely normal. Every English speaker you know, even native ones, also makes mistakes sometimes. The secret is not to stop. The more you listen, the more you speak, the more you practice, the stronger you become. Think of English like a muscle. If you exercise it every day, even a little bit, it gets stronger and stronger. But if you stop using it, it gets weak again. So don't wait for the perfect time to study. Just start, even if it's for 10 minutes a day. Let's talk about listening first, because listening is the heart of language. Listening helps your brain understand sounds, rhythm, and real communication. Many learners think they must first learn grammar and vocabulary before listening, but actually, it's the other way around. Listening gives you grammar and vocabulary naturally. When you hear English, your brain collects patterns. How words go together, how questions sound, how people connect sounds. Over time, you don't even have to think about grammar. You just start to feel what's correct. So, make listening a daily habit. Start with easy English, like slow YouTube lessons, podcasts, or audiobooks made for learners. You can listen when you cook, walk, or travel. The goal is not to understand every single word, but to understand the main idea. When you listen, ask yourself, what is the speaker talking about? What is the mood? What do they want to say? This helps your brain build meaning without translation. If you don't understand, don't worry. Listen again tomorrow. Each time, you will catch a few more words, and one day, you'll realize you understand almost everything. Now let's talk about how to make listening practice fun. One way is to listen to something you love. Maybe you like music, movies, stories, or travel videos. If you love something, your mind stays open, and learning becomes natural. You can even listen to children's shows in English. They are simple, clear, and full of useful expressions. You can also use subtitles, but don't depend on them too much. First, try to listen without subtitles. Then, if you really need them, turn them on and check what you missed. After that, turn them off again and listen once more. This small exercise helps you train both your ears and your eyes. For B2 learners like you, I know you can already understand a lot, but you might feel that native speakers talk too fast or use strange slang. That's okay. The best way to handle this is to listen to short clips again and again. Each time, focus on something new. First, just listen. Next, listen and repeat. Then, listen and write what you hear. Finally, listen one more time without doing anything. You'll notice how much you've improved. Let's move to speaking, which is often the hardest part for many learners. I know you might feel nervous about speaking English because you are afraid of mistakes. But remember, even children learning their first language make thousands of mistakes before they become fluent. The only way to get better is to speak often. You don't need a teacher or partner all the time. You can talk to yourself. For example, describe what you see. Say, I am sitting at my desk. I am holding my phone. I am drinking water. This helps your brain think in English instead of translating from your native language. Another good trick is to record yourself speaking. Choose a simple topic, like your favorite food or your hobby, and talk for 1 or 2 minutes. Then, listen to your recording. Don't judge yourself. Just notice what you can improve. Maybe your pronunciation of one word is not clear. Maybe your sentences are too short. That's fine. Next time, try again. When you listen to your own voice, your brain learns faster because it becomes aware of the sounds you make. Let's talk about pronunciation for a moment. Many learners worry about their accent, but please remember, having an accent is normal. Everyone has one. The goal is not to sound like a native speaker. The goal is to be understood. Clear pronunciation comes from listening carefully and speaking slowly. When you listen to native speakers, notice how they connect words. For example, instead of want to, they say wanna. Instead of going to, they say gonna. These small connections make speech natural. You can try shadowing, which means repeating right after you hear a sentence. Choose a short clip, play one sentence, pause, and say it exactly the same way. Repeat until you feel comfortable. Now, let's move to reading. Reading is like food for your vocabulary. When you read, you see new words in real sentences, and that helps you remember them better. Don't start with difficult books. Start with short stories, news articles, or even English blogs about your interests. When you find a new word, don't stop reading immediately. Try to guess the meaning from the context. Later, you can look it up in a dictionary. It's more powerful to understand a word naturally than to just memorize it. If you can, try to read aloud. Reading aloud helps your pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence. It also makes your mouth familiar with English sounds. Just choose a short paragraph every day and read it slowly, clearly, and happily. You don't have to be perfect. The goal is to enjoy the sound of English. Writing is also very helpful, and it's often forgotten. Writing makes your grammar stronger and helps you express yourself better. You can write a short diary every day in English. Write about how you feel, what you did, or what you learned. You don't need long sentences. Just write something real and simple. For example, today I listened to an English podcast. I learned a new word, peaceful. I feel peaceful when I listen to English. These small notes help you use English naturally. Now let's talk about vocabulary, because many learners say, Sarah, I know a lot of words, but I forget them. That's normal. To remember vocabulary, you need to meet the same word many times in different situations. Reading, listening, speaking, and writing all help you do that. When you learn a new word, try to make a personal sentence with it. If the word is journey, you can say, learning English is my journey. When you use words in your own life, your brain remembers them longer. You can also make small flashcards or use mobile apps, but don't just memorize long lists of words. Instead, learn words in groups or phrases. For example, learn take a shower, take a rest, take your time. When you learn like this, you understand how words live together. Let's take a short mental pause now. Close your eyes if you want, take a deep breath, and think about why you are learning English. Maybe you want a better job, maybe you want to travel, maybe you just love languages. Whatever your reason is, keep it in your heart. That reason is your power. Every time you feel tired or lazy, remember your reason. It will keep you going. Motivation is like fuel for a car. If you lose it, the car stops. So you must fill your tank every day with positive thoughts. Celebrate your progress, even the small things. Maybe you understood a sentence in a movie. Maybe you had a short chat in English online. These are big achievements. Don't compare yourself with others. Your journey is unique. Everyone learns differently. Some people learn fast, some learn slow, but all learners move forward when they keep going. Now, let's talk about grammar. Many people think grammar is boring or difficult, but it doesn't have to be. You don't need to study hundreds of grammar rules to speak English well. What you need is to notice grammar while listening and reading. For example, when you hear, "I have been learning English for 2 years," you can ask yourself, why do they say have been? Slowly, you will start to see the patterns. Grammar is like a friend who helps you organize your words, not a rule that punishes you. It's also okay to make grammar mistakes. Even native speakers make them sometimes, especially when they speak fast. The important thing is communication. If people understand you, that's success. Later, you can correct your grammar step by step. Now let's talk about the importance of consistency. Learning English is like growing a plant. You need to water it every day. If you water it a lot one day and then forget for a week, it will not grow well. But if you give it a little water every day, it becomes strong. So, do a little English every day. Listen for 10 minutes, read for 10 minutes, or write a few sentences. You will see big changes in a few months. Also, try to make English part of your daily life. Change your phone language to English. Watch short videos with English captions. Think in English when you are walking or cooking. You can ask yourself simple questions like, "What am I doing now?" or "What will I eat for lunch?" This makes your brain active in English all the time. Let's talk about confidence. Many learners feel shy to speak because they are afraid of being judged. But here is the truth. People don't care about your mistakes. They care about your message. When you speak English, speak with love and confidence. Smile, look at people, and take your time. Your goal is not to speak fast. Your goal is to speak clearly. The more you speak, the more natural you become. Confidence grows with practice, not with perfection. Another great tip is to surround yourself with English. You can listen to English radio, follow English YouTubers, or join online groups where people chat in English. The more you see and hear the language, the more familiar it becomes. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. Your brain is learning even when you don't realize it. You are doing amazing just by listening patiently and focusing with me. Remember, there is no rush in learning English. You can take your time. Some days you will learn a lot, and some days you will only learn a little, but that is okay. What matters most is that you do not stop. Every minute you spend listening or speaking in English helps your brain get used to the language more and more. It is like planting a garden. At first, you do not see the flowers. You only see soil and small seeds. But if you water those seeds every day with patience, slowly they grow, and one day you see beautiful flowers. Your English is just like that garden. Every word you listen to is a seed that will grow inside your mind. Now let's talk about listening again, because this skill is so powerful. When you listen carefully to English, you are not only learning words, but also how to feel the language. The tone, the music of the voice, the way people express emotions, all of that is part of real communication. Many people think learning English is just about memorizing vocabulary and grammar, but that is not true. It's about understanding meaning through sound. So, when you listen, try to feel the mood of the speaker. Are they happy, sad, excited, or serious? You don't even need to understand every word to catch the feeling. That is a wonderful ability that will make you understand English like a native speaker one day. You can practice this feeling by listening to English movies or TV shows. Try to watch scenes with emotion. Don't focus too much on the words. Focus on the expressions, the sound, and the rhythm. When you start to feel what they are saying, your brain connects the emotion to the meaning, and that helps you remember much better. Also, remember that repetition is your best friend. Watching the same clip again and again is not boring. It is smart. Each time you hear something new. The first time, you might only understand the general idea. The second time, you catch more details. The third time, you begin to remember sentences. After several times, you can even predict what comes next. That is when you truly own the language. Now, let's think about speaking again. When you speak English, you are showing the world your courage. Speaking another language is an act of bravery because you are expressing yourself in a new way. Please be proud of yourself every time you open your mouth to speak English, even if it's just one small sentence. You are doing something powerful. If you feel nervous, remember this. Nobody speaks perfectly. Even native speakers say, and pause to think. So it's okay if you need time to find words. Speaking slowly is better than speaking fast with mistakes. Slow speech shows clarity and confidence. To practice speaking, one wonderful idea is to repeat what you hear in your daily life. When you watch a YouTube video, repeat 1 or 2 sentences after the speaker. When you hear a song, try to sing along slowly. When you hear someone say something interesting, repeat it quietly to yourself. This builds a strong connection between your ear and your mouth. It's called active imitation, and it helps you sound more natural without trying too hard. Another small tip. Try to speak English to yourself every morning for 2 minutes. When you wake up, you can say something like, "Good morning. Today is a new day. I will learn something new today. I will listen carefully and speak confidently." These small words in English will prepare your brain for the day. If you do this every day, you will start to think in English automatically. Let's move to another important part of learning: building habits. Habits are small actions that we repeat so many times that they become easy. If you make English a habit, you will learn without effort. For example, you can decide to listen to 10 minutes of English audio every morning while drinking coffee. Or you can decide to read one short story before bed. If you do this every day, it becomes natural, like brushing your teeth. When English becomes part of your daily routine, you don't need to push yourself anymore. It becomes a normal part of your life. That is the secret of fluency, Not magic, not big study plans, just small consistent habits. Now let's talk about reading again. Reading is beautiful because it shows you the soul of the language. When you read, you can see how people express thoughts and feelings. Start with easy books or short articles. You can find graded readers. Those are books written especially for English learners. They come in different levels, so you can choose B1, B2, or higher. These books help you build confidence. When you finish a book, even a short one, you feel proud, and that gives you more motivation to read more. When you read, don't rush. Read slowly, sentence by sentence. Try to imagine what's happening. Visualization helps your brain connect meaning to words. For example, if you read about a sunny beach, imagine the blue sky, the sound of the waves, and the warm sand. This makes reading more emotional and memorable. When you connect feeling to language, you learn faster. Sometimes you may find a paragraph that is difficult. Don't panic. Take a short break, then come back and read again. Sometimes the meaning becomes clear after a small pause. Learning is not about speed. It's about understanding. If you learn one good thing today, that's enough. Now, let's talk about writing again. Writing is not only about grammar. It's about expressing yourself clearly and calmly. You can use writing as a tool to organize your thoughts. If you feel shy to speak, writing helps you prepare your ideas. Then, when you speak later, you will remember your sentences better. Try to write short messages, comments, or journal entries. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Every word you write is progress. To make writing fun, you can choose creative topics. Write about your dream trip, your favorite movie, or a special memory. Use simple words. The goal is to use English freely, not perfectly. If you want, you can even share your writing online with other learners. It's wonderful to connect with people who are learning just like you. Let's talk a bit about listening for different accents. English is spoken in many countries. In the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and many other places. Each place has a different accent and some different words. At first, this can be confusing, but it's also exciting. Listening to different accents helps you understand English from around the world. It also makes you flexible. You can start with one accent, maybe American or British, and then slowly try others. You can find videos where people compare accents. Those are very helpful and fun. Now, another part that is important for learning English is your environment. Try to create an English atmosphere around you. You can put English labels on things in your room, like door, mirror, window, or chair. You can also follow English pages on social media so that your feed is full of small English posts. These tiny changes make your brain see English all the time. It's like living in an English world even if you are not in an English-speaking country. Let's talk a little about grammar again, but this time from a different angle. Grammar helps your words make sense, but it should not stop you from speaking. Some learners are afraid to speak because they want to be 100% correct, but nobody is perfect. Instead of thinking about grammar while speaking, focus on communicating. You can always study grammar separately. For example, when you write or read, you can notice grammar patterns. You can ask yourself, why do they use the past tense here? Or why is this plural? This gentle curiosity helps you learn grammar naturally, without stress. Now let's take a moment to talk about motivation again, because keeping motivation alive is one of the hardest things in any long journey. In the beginning, learning is exciting. You feel full of energy and hope. But after some weeks or months, it feels like progress slows down. You start to feel tired. This is normal. It happens to everyone. The secret is not to give up. When you feel tired, take a small rest, but don't quit. Even resting can be part of learning. You can watch something relaxing in English, or listen to a soft English song. That way, you are still learning gently while resting. You can also use small rewards to keep motivation high. For example, tell yourself, if I study English for 10 days in a row, I will buy myself a small gift. Or if I finish one English book, I will watch my favorite movie. These small rewards make your brain happy. Learning then becomes something you enjoy, not something you must do. Let's also talk about goals. Having clear goals gives direction to your learning. But goals should be small and realistic. Don't say, I will be fluent in 3 months. Instead, say, I will listen to English 10 minutes every day for 1 month. Or, I will learn 5 new words every day. When you reach a small goal, you feel proud, and that gives you power to keep going. Step by step, all those small goals bring you to fluency. And here's another thing. Sometimes people say, I understand English, but I cannot speak. That's because passive learning, like reading and listening, is easier than active learning, like speaking and writing. So, if you can understand but cannot speak, don't worry. It means your listening skill is strong, and speaking will come next. The way to fix this is to use English actively every day. Speak aloud, write, and think in English. Use what you already know. You don't need fancy words. Simple words can express everything. Now let's talk about confidence again, because confidence grows from small successes. Every time you speak, even if it's short, you are building your confidence. Don't wait for perfect English to start talking. Perfect English does not exist. What matters is real communication. People will understand you even with small mistakes if you speak with kindness and clarity. I also want to remind you to listen to yourself with love. Sometimes learners are too hard on themselves. They say, my English is terrible, or I'll never learn. But those negative words make learning harder. Instead, talk to yourself kindly. Say, I am learning every day. I am getting better. Positive thinking really helps your brain stay open and relaxed. When your brain feels calm, it learns faster. Now, let's talk about time. Many learners say, I don't have time to study. But you don't need hours. You can learn English even with a busy schedule. You can listen while you clean your room, while you cook, or while you exercise. You can repeat small phrases while walking. Every small moment can be learning time. It's not about how long you study, it's about how often you do it. We have talked about time. Let's think about how you can organize your learning in a way that feels easy, not stressful. Some people try to study too much at once and then get tired quickly. I don't want you to feel that way. I want English to be something that fits smoothly into your life. The best way to do that is to make small, regular habits. Maybe you can listen to English every morning while you brush your teeth. Maybe you can read something short in English during lunch. Or before bed, you can write 2 or 3 sentences about your day. When you make these little routines, your English improves naturally without pressure. You don't even need to sit down with a big notebook every time. Just keep English close to you like a gentle friend who walks beside you each day. Another very important thing in learning English is patience. Patience means giving yourself time to grow. Many learners want fast results. They want to speak fluently in 1 month. But language learning doesn't work like that. It's more like growing a tree. You plant a small seed, water it, take care of it, and slowly it grows strong roots and green leaves. If you keep pulling the tree to make it grow faster, it will break. But if you let it grow slowly, it becomes tall and beautiful. So be patient with yourself. Every small effort adds up. You may not notice your progress every day, but if you keep going, one day you will surprise yourself with how much you know. Sometimes, when you are learning, you may feel stuck. You might think, I am not improving anymore. But that feeling is also part of learning. It's called the silent period. It's a time when your brain is collecting information quietly. You might not see results outside, but inside your brain, many connections are happening. You just need to keep going, and soon you'll see progress again. So, if you ever feel like you are not learning, don't stop. Just keep listening, reading, or watching English content. Trust that your brain is working in the background. Now let's talk about listening more deeply. When you listen, try to notice the small things in English. For example, how the speaker's voice goes up and down. This is called intonation. Intonation helps you understand emotions and meaning. When someone says, really, with a high tone, it means they are surprised. When they say, really, with a low tone, it means they already knew. These small sound changes are very important in English. Try to copy them when you speak. It will make your speech more natural and expressive. You can practice this by watching short dialogues. Play them and repeat the same tone. Even if you don't understand every word, you can practice the rhythm. English is like music. Every sentence has its own melody. When you catch that melody, your listening and speaking both improve fast. Let's also talk about thinking in English. Thinking in English is one of the biggest steps toward fluency. At first, we all translate from our native language. That's normal. But translation takes time and makes speaking slower. To stop translating, you can start with small steps. For example, when you see an object, don't think in your own language. Think directly in English. See a cup and think, cup. See a cat and think, cat. Slowly, you can move to small sentences like, it's raining today, or I'm hungry. These short thoughts help your brain stay in English mode. If you make this a habit, you will notice a big change after a few weeks. Your brain will start to respond faster, and your speech will sound smoother. You will feel more confident because you won't need to translate in your head anymore. It takes time, but it works beautifully. Let's talk about learning from mistakes. Many learners feel afraid of making mistakes, but I want you to see mistakes as your best teachers. Every mistake shows you something new. If you make a grammar mistake, you learn the correct form after. If you say a word wrong, you will remember it better next time. Without mistakes, there is no learning. Even babies fall many times before they learn to walk, but they never stop trying. You should do the same. Smile when you make a mistake and say, okay, I learned something new today. Sometimes your progress will be fast, and sometimes it will be slow. That's normal. The important thing is to keep your mind calm and positive. When you feel tired or bored, you can change your study method. Instead of reading, you can watch a funny video in English. Instead of listening, you can write a short story. Keeping variety in your learning helps you stay motivated. Now let's talk about pronunciation practice in more detail. English pronunciation can be tricky because sometimes the spelling and sound are different. But don't worry. You can train your mouth and ears with time. When you listen to English speakers, focus on how they move their mouths. Try to copy the movement. You can also stand in front of a mirror and practice saying difficult sounds. For example, th in think or this. Watch how your tongue touches your teeth. These small physical exercises help your pronunciation a lot. You can also use tongue twisters to make practice fun. For example, say, she sells seashells by the seashore, slowly at first, then faster. It's a funny and useful way to train your mouth muscles. The more you practice pronunciation, the easier it becomes. Now let's talk about listening to natural speech. Native speakers often connect words together. They say things like wanna, gonna, gotta, or kinda. You don't need to use these in formal writing, but it's good to recognize them when you hear them. It helps you understand real conversations. You can also try to use them when speaking casually, to sound more natural. For example, I'm gonna go now, instead of I'm going to go now. But remember, the goal is not to speak fast. The goal is to speak clearly. Now, let's think about the importance of rest. Many people study for long hours but forget to rest, and then they feel tired and lose motivation. Rest is part of learning. When you rest, your brain processes what you learned. It organizes the information and keeps it in your memory. So, if you ever feel tired, don't feel guilty about taking a break. Do something relaxing, like listening to soft English songs or watching something easy and fun. Learning should feel enjoyable, not heavy. Let's talk about connecting with people. One of the best ways to improve your English is to talk with others. If you can, join online communities or language exchange groups. You can find friends who also want to practice English. Talking to real people helps you use English in real situations. You learn how to respond, how to ask questions, and how to understand different accents. Even short chats help a lot. If you are shy, you can start by texting in English. Writing messages is also good practice. You can also join English-speaking groups on social media, where people share short posts, photos, or stories. You can comment in English and make small conversations. It's a safe and friendly way to practice. Remember, English is not just a subject, it's a tool for connection. The more you use it to connect with others, the more confident you will become. Now let's talk about understanding fast English. Many learners say, Sarah, I understand slow English, but not when people talk fast. That's very common. The key is not to panic. Fast speech is just normal speech connected together. You can train your ears by listening to short, fast clips again and again. At first, it will sound like noise. But if you keep listening, your brain starts to catch the patterns. It's just like learning to listen to a new song. The more you hear it, the clearer it becomes. You can also slow down videos when you practice. Many YouTube videos have a slow playback option. Start with 0.75 speed, then move to normal speed when you feel ready. That small tool is very helpful. Let's talk about memory now. Sometimes we learn something today and forget it tomorrow. That's okay. Forgetting is part of learning. When you review the same thing again, your memory becomes stronger. That's why repetition is so important. When you repeat, your brain says, "Oh, this is important," and keeps it longer. So don't feel bad if you forget words or rules. Just review them again with a smile. Learning is not about remembering everything perfectly. It's about building a stronger memory step by step. Now let's talk about your emotional connection to English. Sometimes, when people learn English only for exams or work, they feel pressure and stress. But if you learn with love, everything feels easier. Try to enjoy the beauty of the language. Watch movies that touch your heart, read stories that inspire you, and listen to songs that make you feel good. When English connects with your emotions, it becomes a part of you. That's the secret of natural learning. And remember, your English does not have to sound like someone else's. You have your own voice, your own rhythm, your own story. English is just a new way for you to express that. So don't hide your accent. Your accent is part of who you are. It shows your background and your effort. Be proud of it. Now let's talk about motivation again, but this time about long-term motivation. You can keep motivation alive by reminding yourself of your goals. Write them down and put them somewhere you can see every day. Maybe you can write, "I will speak English confidently," or "I will understand English movies easily." Seeing these goals every day will keep you focused. You can also track your progress. Write what you learned this week, or record yourself speaking every month. When you listen later, you will hear how much you've improved. That is a beautiful feeling. It reminds you that all your effort is working. Finally, let's talk about kindness to yourself. Learning English is not just about language, it's also about attitude. If you are kind to yourself, you will learn faster. When you make a mistake, smile. When you forget, try again. When you feel tired, rest. When you feel proud, celebrate. Be your own best friend in this journey. You deserve to enjoy every step. We have talked about patience, rest, and kindness. I want you to remember one important truth. Learning English is not a race, it's a journey. It's not about who learns faster or who speaks perfectly. It's about who keeps going even when it's hard. Every day you learn something new, even when you don't notice it. Maybe today you learned one new word. Maybe tomorrow you will understand one more sentence in a video. These small steps are not small at all. They are your progress. I know sometimes you might compare yourself to others. You might think, that person speaks better than me, or they understand more. But please, don't compare. Everyone has their own speed and their own story. Your only job is to move forward at your own pace, with peace in your heart. When I first started learning another language, I also felt shy and scared to speak. I thought people would laugh at my mistakes. But later I learned something very beautiful. Most people don't care about your mistakes. They care about your message. They want to understand you. So, don't wait for perfect grammar before you start talking. Speak now, with the English you have today. The more you speak, the more confident you will become. Confidence grows with use. Every conversation is a practice. Every sentence is a step. Let's also talk about listening actively. Listening actively means not just hearing the words but paying attention to how people say them and what emotions they use. When someone says, "I'm fine," listen to their tone. Are they really fine, or do they sound tired? When you listen carefully like this, you understand more than just vocabulary. You understand feeling. That makes your communication deeper and more real. Try this exercise. When you watch a short English video, pause after each sentence and repeat what the person said. Try to copy their tone, speed, and pronunciation. This shadowing method is one of the best ways to train your ear and mouth together. At first, it will feel difficult, but after some time, it becomes natural. You'll start to sound smoother, more natural, and more confident. Let's talk about understanding accents. There are many types of English in the world: American, British, Australian, Canadian, Indian, and many more. Sometimes, learners feel confused because words sound different. But remember, English is a global language. There is no one perfect accent. All accents are beautiful. You don't have to sound like someone from London or New York. You just need to be clear. You can choose one accent to focus on at first, like American or British, so your listening practice feels easier. Later, you can listen to different accents to expand your understanding. This will help you communicate with people from all around the world. Another important thing about learning English is surrounding yourself with the language. Try to create a small English world around you. Change your phone settings to English. Watch the news in English. Read English labels on products. Even small things like reading signs, advertisements, or instructions in English will train your brain. The more you see and hear English, the faster your mind gets used to it. You'll start to think in English naturally. Let's talk about fear now. Many learners are afraid to speak because they think people will judge them. But fear is just a feeling. It's not the truth. The truth is that everyone who learns a new language makes mistakes. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. So, why be afraid? When you speak English, you are doing something very brave. You are using a language that is not your first. That's amazing. You should be proud of yourself every time you try. The more you try, the less afraid you will feel. You can also practice speaking alone if you don't have a partner. You can talk to yourself in English while cooking, cleaning, or walking. You can describe what you're doing. For example, I am making tea, or I am cleaning my room. These simple sentences help you think in English. You can also record your voice and listen to it later. When you hear yourself, you can notice pronunciation mistakes and improve. It might feel strange at first, but it's very effective. Now, let's talk about learning vocabulary deeply. Many people try to memorize long lists of words. That can be boring and hard to remember. A better way is to learn words in context. That means learning them through sentences and situations. For example, instead of just learning the word happy, learn it in a sentence like, I feel happy when I listen to music. When you use the word in a real sentence, your brain remembers it longer. You can also connect new words with your own life. For example, if you learn the word beautiful, think of something beautiful in your life and say it aloud. The sunset is beautiful. That personal connection helps memory. You can also use flashcards or apps to review words every day. Don't just read them, say them aloud. The sound helps your brain remember better. You can write each new word in a small notebook and review it at the end of the week. Try to use those words in your writing or speaking. That's how they become part of your active vocabulary. Let's talk about grammar now. Many learners feel nervous about grammar, but grammar is not something to fear. It's just a way to help your sentences make sense. You don't need to memorize every rule. Start with simple ones, like present, past, and future tenses. Use them in daily sentences. For example, I go to school, I went to school, I will go to school. Once you are comfortable, move to more complex tenses slowly. The goal is to use grammar to communicate, not to be perfect. When you listen or read, try to notice grammar in real sentences. That's called learning from examples. For instance, when you hear "she has been working," you can see how the present perfect continuous is used. You don't have to stop and analyze it deeply. Just notice it naturally. Over time, your brain will absorb the patterns. Now let's talk about writing practice. Writing helps you organize your thoughts in English. You can start with simple things like writing a short diary every night. Write about your day, your feelings, your dreams. Don't worry about mistakes. Just write freely. Writing regularly helps you think in English and improve your grammar and vocabulary naturally. You can also write small messages or comments in English online. That's another good way to practice. Reading is also a wonderful way to learn English. When you read, you see words, grammar, and expressions in context. Start with simple books or stories, maybe ones for children or beginners. They are easy to understand and fun to read. As you improve, you can move to higher levels. You can also read English news, blogs, or short articles about topics you like. Reading what you love keeps you motivated. When you read, don't worry about every new word. Try to guess the meaning from the sentence. If you stop too often to check the dictionary, you lose the flow. It's better to understand the main idea first, then later check a few important words. Reading often also improves your writing naturally. You will start to use new words and sentence styles you've seen before. Let's talk about listening to English songs. Music is a very fun and powerful way to learn. You can start with slow songs with clear lyrics. Listen several times, and then read the lyrics while listening. Sing along softly to practice pronunciation and rhythm. It's not only enjoyable, but it also helps your listening and memory. Music makes learning emotional, and emotions help memory. Movies and TV shows are also great teachers. Start with movies you already know in your language, but watch them in English. Use English subtitles first, then later try without them. When you watch, don't just focus on understanding every word. Focus on how people talk, how they use phrases, tone, and body language. These small details teach you real-life English. You can also pause the movie and repeat lines to practice speaking. Now let's talk about your attitude toward learning. The way you think affects how well you learn. If you think, English is hard, your brain feels heavy. But if you think, English is fun, your brain opens up. So choose positive thoughts. Every time you sit to study, smile and say, "I can do this." It may sound simple, but it really works. Your mind and body work better when you are relaxed and happy. Let's talk about setting small goals. For example, this week you can focus on learning 10 new words. Next week, you can focus on improving your pronunciation of th sounds. Setting small, clear goals helps you stay focused and gives you small wins that keep you motivated. You can write your goals on paper and check them when you finish. Every check mark is a small celebration of progress. If you ever feel like giving up, remember why you started learning English. Maybe it's for your job, for travel, for study, or just because you love it. Hold that reason close to your heart. That's your motivation flame. When things get difficult, that reason will remind you to keep going. You are learning something amazing, a skill that connects you to the world. You understand the importance of goals and motivation, Let's talk about confidence, because confidence is like a light that helps you shine when you speak English. Many learners have good grammar, good vocabulary, and good listening skills, but they still feel nervous when they open their mouths. They worry about what other people might think, or they are scared of saying something wrong. But I want you to know something very important. Confidence doesn't come after you speak perfectly. It comes when you decide to speak anyway, even if you are not perfect yet. You build confidence by doing, not by waiting. Every time you try to speak, even a few words, you are growing your confidence. When you start talking, maybe your voice will shake a little. That's okay. Maybe you will forget a word. That's okay too. Maybe someone won't understand you the first time. That's still okay. Every person who learned English went through that same stage. Even I did when I was learning another language. But you know what happens next. Slowly, after a few tries, you feel more relaxed. You start to smile when you speak. You start to enjoy it. You stop worrying about mistakes and start enjoying communication. That's the real meaning of confidence. Not perfection, but peace in your heart when you speak. You can practice confidence in small ways. For example, every morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say something positive in English. It could be, I can speak English well, or I am learning and improving every day. When you say this daily, your brain starts to believe it. Positive words have power. They change the way you feel inside. And when you feel good inside, your English sounds better too. Let's talk about communication skills now. English is not only about knowing words and grammar. It's about connecting with people. When you talk to someone, focus on understanding and expressing meaning, not on using big words. Sometimes simple English can express more emotion and truth than complicated English. For example, saying, I am happy to see you, is much warmer than saying something fancy like, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. English is about connection, not competition. When you communicate, remember to listen carefully too. Speaking is only half of communication. Listening is the other half. When you really listen to someone, you show respect, and that makes conversations smoother. If you don't understand something, don't be shy to ask, can you please say that again? Or what does that mean? People will appreciate your honesty and your effort. Good communication is about being open, patient, and kind. Now let's talk about daily English habits that make learning easy and natural. One great habit is to choose one English moment in your day. It could be when you wake up, when you go to bed, or during lunch. In that moment, you do something small in English. Listen to a podcast, read a paragraph, or write a few sentences. If you do this every day, it becomes a beautiful routine, like brushing your teeth. You won't even need to force yourself. It becomes automatic. Another simple habit is labeling things around you in English. You can write small notes and stick them on objects in your room. Write door, mirror, table, light, window. Every time you see the word, your brain remembers it. It's a fun and visual way to learn vocabulary. You can also label feelings. For example, write happy, tired, hungry, and use them to express how you feel. You can say aloud, I am tired today, or I feel happy right now. These small sentences make English part of your real life. Let's also talk about one of my favorite habits. Talking to yourself in English. I know it sounds funny, but it's one of the best ways to practice. You can talk about what you see, what you're doing, or what you're thinking. For example, I'm making coffee. It's raining outside, or I need to finish my work. This exercise helps your brain think in English. You don't need anyone else. You are your own best practice partner. You can even imagine short conversations in your head. Pretend someone asks, "How are you?" And you reply, "I'm doing great, thank you." That's how you train your brain to respond automatically. Let's talk about body language too. When you speak English, your body helps you express meaning. Smile when you talk. Use your hands naturally. Make eye contact. These things make your communication warmer and clearer. Sometimes, even if you forget a word, your body can help express your message. Communication is not just about words. It's about energy. So, use your body to support your words. Now let's think about how to use technology wisely in learning English. Today we have so many amazing tools, apps, websites, YouTube channels, podcasts, and online dictionaries. You can use them anytime, anywhere. But don't try to use all of them at once. Choose 2 or 3 that you like most. For example, 1 app for vocabulary, 1 for listening, and 1 YouTube channel for fun learning. Consistency is more important than variety. It's better to use 1 app daily than 10 apps once a week. Also, be careful not to compare your English with influencers or teachers online. They might have been learning or teaching for many years. You are on your own journey. Use their videos as inspiration, not as pressure. You can learn a lot by watching how they speak and how they explain things. But remember, you are learning, not performing. Take your time. Now let's talk about relaxation while learning. Some learners study very seriously all the time and forget to have fun. Fun is important because it keeps your mind open and happy. You can play English games, watch cartoons, or join English karaoke. These fun moments keep you emotionally connected to English. You can even tell jokes in English. Don't worry if the joke is simple. Laughter helps memory. When you laugh, your brain releases happy chemicals that make learning stronger. Let's also talk about understanding culture through English. Language and culture are like best friends. They go together. When you learn about how English-speaking people live, think, and communicate, you understand the language better. For example, when people say, "How are you?" they don't always expect a long answer. It's just a polite way to say hello. Knowing this helps you respond naturally. You can answer, "I'm good, thanks." And you? These small cultural details make your English sound natural. Reading and watching English content about culture, festivals, or traditions also makes your learning interesting. It helps you understand idioms and expressions too. For example, if you hear someone say, "It's raining cats and dogs," you'll know it means it's raining heavily, not actual animals. English has many funny idioms, and learning them makes your conversations more colorful. Now let's talk about staying positive when progress feels slow. Sometimes, you might feel that your English is not improving. You might feel stuck or tired. That's normal. Every learner experiences that phase. But remember, progress doesn't always show immediately. You might not see the growth, but it's happening inside your brain. Every time you listen, read, or speak, your brain is building stronger connections. So even when it feels like nothing is changing, something beautiful is happening quietly. When you feel low, look back at how far you've come. Maybe you couldn't understand English songs before, but now you can. Maybe you couldn't say a full sentence before, but now you can. These are big achievements. You are growing step by step. Be proud of yourself for every little success. Let's also talk about your environment. The people around you can affect your learning. Try to surround yourself with supportive people who encourage you. If someone makes fun of your English, don't take it seriously. That says more about them than about you. You are doing something brave and smart, learning a global language. Keep your energy positive and protect your motivation. You can even find online friends who are also learning. Together, you can motivate each other and share tips. Now let's think about using English in real life. You don't need to wait until you are fluent to use English. You can start using it now in small ways. When you go to a cafe, order something in English, even if it's just practice. When you write a note to yourself, write it in English. When you post something online, write a short caption in English. Every little use makes a difference. English becomes stronger in your brain when you use it, not just study it. Let's talk about speaking speed. Many learners try to speak fast because they think it means fluency. But fluency doesn't mean speed, it means smoothness. You can speak slowly and still be fluent. What matters is that you express your thoughts clearly. So don't rush. Take your time. It's better to speak slowly and correctly than fast and unclear. If you want to improve your speaking flow, try reading aloud every day. You can take a paragraph from a story or article and read it slowly, focusing on rhythm and pronunciation. Reading aloud trains your tongue, mouth, and brain together. It's one of the best exercises for improving speaking fluency. And let's talk about listening again because it's the heart of language learning. Listening helps you learn pronunciation, rhythm, vocabulary, and grammar without even trying. Listen to a variety of English, podcasts, YouTube channels, short stories, interviews, and even simple news. Start with easy content, then slowly move to harder levels. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just keep listening. Over time, your brain starts to understand naturally. Listening often is like feeding your brain. The more you listen, the stronger your English becomes. Finally, let's talk about belief. Belief in yourself. I believe in you, and I want you to believe in yourself too. You have already started learning, and that's the hardest step. You are brave. You are capable. You are improving every single day, even when it feels slow. English is not something far away. It's already inside you, growing with every effort you make. Keep going, my friend. Be proud of your progress, and never stop learning. One day, you will look back and realize how far you have come, and you'll smile because you did it. We talked about listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, pronunciation, confidence, and motivation. We talked about patience, practice, and believing in yourself. And now, as we come to the end of this long talk, I want to remind you again of something very simple but very true. Learning English is not just about words and rules. It's about opening a new world. When you learn English, you open a door to millions of people, stories, songs, and dreams. You open a door to connection, to new ideas, to growth. English is not just a language. It's a bridge that connects your heart to the world. And that, my friend, is something truly special. I want you to imagine your future for a moment. Imagine yourself speaking English confidently. Imagine you are traveling to a new country, meeting new people, watching a movie without subtitles, or getting that dream job that needs English. Imagine the smile on your face when you realize that all your hard work brought you here. That future is not far away. It's waiting for you, step by step, day by day. You are already walking toward it right now. Every time you listen, every time you speak, every time you try, you move closer. So, don't stop. Keep walking. Keep learning. Keep believing. And please remember, there is no such thing as a bad English learner. There are only learners who stop too early. You are not behind anyone. You are exactly where you need to be. Even if your progress feels slow, it's still progress. Slow learning is still learning. You are still moving forward. Sometimes the best progress happens quietly, without you noticing. Then one day everything just clicks. Suddenly, you understand more, you speak better, and you realize how much you've grown. That moment is coming for you. Trust it. Now, I want to share one more important idea. Learning English is also about learning about yourself. When you practice, you learn about your patience, your courage, and your strength. You learn how you handle challenges, how you stay positive, and how you grow through mistakes. English teaches you not only new words but also new parts of you. It makes you more open, more confident, and more curious about the world. Isn't that beautiful? You know, many people start learning English with fear. They say, I can't do it, or I'm too old, or my memory is weak. But I have seen people of all ages, all backgrounds, and all levels become fluent. Do you know how they did it? They didn't give up. They kept going, little by little, even when no one was watching. They believed that effort brings results, and it always does. You are no different from them. You have everything you need inside you. You just have to keep using it. Let's talk a bit about practice again. Practice is the heart of learning. It doesn't matter if you study for 10 minutes or 1 hour. What matters is that you do it regularly. Regular practice builds strong habits, and habits build success. If you can make English part of your daily life, it will never feel like a burden. It will become something natural, something you enjoy, like a song you love to hear again and again. Try to enjoy every small moment of learning. Enjoy that feeling when you understand a new word. Enjoy that moment when you say a sentence smoothly. Enjoy when you make a mistake and then laugh and correct it. Each of these moments is a step forward. The joy of learning is what keeps you going, even on hard days. Let's also talk about gratitude. Be thankful for every small improvement you make. Be thankful for every new word you learn, every kind teacher you meet, every resource you have. Gratitude makes learning lighter and happier. When you are thankful, your heart stays open, and you learn faster. Say thank you to yourself too, for your effort, your time, and your dedication. You are doing something wonderful for your future self. Now, before we end, let's take a deep breath together. Breathe in slowly, and breathe out gently. You are doing great. You are learning, growing, and shining more every day. English is becoming part of your life, and soon you will speak it with comfort and confidence. You just need to keep going, one simple step at a time. If you ever feel tired or lost, come back to this moment. Remember Sarah's voice reminding you that you can do this. Remember that learning English is not just about books or exams. It's about communication, joy, and connection. It's about expressing who you are and understanding others. It's about sharing your ideas with the world. And you, my dear listener, have a beautiful voice worth sharing. So, promise yourself that you won't give up. Promise yourself that you will keep learning with patience and kindness. promise yourself that you will believe in your ability, no matter what. English is waiting for you to use it, to make friends, to explore, to grow. And you are more than ready. Before we finish, I want to thank you for spending this time with me. I feel so happy and proud that you are here, listening, learning, and believing in yourself. You are part of our Super English Talks family now, and I hope you keep joining me on this journey. I'll be here with more easy English lessons, more listening practice, and more encouragement just for you. Together we'll keep growing, step by step, with calm, with courage, and with smiles. And finally, remember this. You are doing better than you think. You are learning more than you know. And you are stronger than you feel. Keep shining, my friend. Keep speaking, keep listening, keep learning. One day, English will feel as natural as breathing. Until then, be patient, be proud, and be kind to yourself. You are amazing, and your English journey is just beginning. Thank you for listening, thank you for learning, and thank you for being you. I'm Sarah, and this was Super English Talks. Take care, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now, my dear friend.